I think this market, especially right now, like in LA, this market is not going to be determined by interest rates. The real key, I think, for this market that we're looking at, as far as residential is concerned, is the fact that uh, the inventory issue is going to persist. They basically train for this beer drinking competition, okay, and then it's like in Germany, and so they have to do all this stuff to train to drink beer. It's crazy.
All right, welcome everybody to BeeRE Talks, where we talk about beer, real estate, and finances. We are your friendly co-hosts. I'm Jonathan,
And I'm Nick.
and we're here to talk about it. All right, so today we have a favorite of mine,
Pacifico.
Pacifico. This is my go-to Mexican beer. If you ever want to bring me a Mexican beer,
Pacifico.
bring me a Pacifico.
Nice.
All my buddies know that. Most of my family knows that.
Not a Corona.
Nah, I mean, I'll drink it.
Yeah.
But I prefer this almost every time.
Pacifico.
Micheladas in just about anything. We're doing Mexican beer because Cinco de Mayo was last week. So one of the Yonigas suggested it, and we're taking your suggestions. All right, let's get it.
Cool. So what should I mean, I've had Pacifico.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but what's a good? Like, how would you describe the occasion on when to drink this?
You can drink a Pacifico on a hot day like today, when you're having a carne asada, when you have the in-laws over, when anytime really. Honestly, Mexican beers or lagers, they're light, but they're not super light.
Yeah.
Um, they're tasty, they're refreshing. So I'd recommend a Pacifico
That's good.
Monday through Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, I like the color. Color's good.
Yeah.
Let's see. You know, you want to know what that smell reminds me of?
Mm.
That reminds me of my dad. Like my dad used to drink a lot of original Budweiser,
Okay.
and the smell that
Similar.
similar to like that Budweiser smell, but it's slightly different. I would say this one's a little bit more on the citrusy side.
Yeah.
Than the Budweiser.
So I've had this plenty of times.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the smell smells like something you would get out of a Corona.
So what's the difference between like last week we had like a hazy IPA, so that's a little bit more hoppy.
Yeah.
This one is more wheat.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
So less, or is there even any hops in here?
There's probably a little bit.
Okay.
I would have to look it up to make sure.
Because I can't. I mean, I can't taste any hoppiness.
No.
I taste more of the wheat.
Yeah, definitely a lot of the wheat. Very light.
Yeah.
I mean, not like a light beer. It still has that beer flavor. Um,
No, this is good. It's definitely citrusy, more so than
Mhm.
like I've had other lagers.
yeah. And this is without the lime because we didn't pull out the limes today. But
No, that's good. It's like crisp and refreshing.
yeah. And the thing that I like this more than most other Mexican beers, it doesn't have that like tinge of aftertaste.
Oh yeah.
Like that Corona, like especially if
Oh yeah.
like if
Tastes-
if it's a burned Corona,
like,
they say.
Horse piss.
Yeah, it's not that like. Ooh.
Oh, did you ever watch a classic beer movie? Oh, what's it called? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a classic beer movie where
No.
it's literally from start to finish. All they're doing is drinking beer.
Oh, you should watch it.
It's a cult classic. What's the name of it? Well, anyways, in the movie, right? He says in order to get really good at drinking beer, you need to drink goat's piss.
Oh shit.
Right. So this is definitely not goat's piss, but I've
I,
had some beers that.
I got good at drinking beer without drinking goat's piss, so that's good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna find the name of that movie. That's good, man. That's super refreshing.
Yeah.
And like it's not heavy.
No, no, definitely you can drink uh,
Yeah.
eight,
Cheers to
eight of these.
Pacifico. This was a good one. Very light, crisp, refreshing. Perfect for the summer. This was
Yeah,
a hot day,
let's go.
so this is a really good
Perfect
one.
for the mariscos. This is, I think this comes from Mazatlan. That's why it's
That's
called
good.
Pacifico. Or from the other side, sorry. Sorry, Mexicans. I know I'm probably messing that up. But yeah. All right. So, what would you rate it? What would you give
Um,
it?
Overall, I didn't like the smell too much.
Okay. Reminded of your dad. That's not a good sign.
No, but just like
I'm just messing.
comparing to the hoppiness,
Okay.
like I really like the
There's not a whole
hoppiness
lot
one.
there. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's kind of that, but taste wise, um, it's definitely not bland. The
Yeah.
citrusy definitely adds a little bit of that flavor to it that I think some other lagers miss.
Yeah.
This one is definitely like, um, no, this one was good. Lightly carbonated, like really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. All right,
How
guys.
would you rate it? An 8. I think this one's an 8 for me.
Yeah.
Like it, not exceptional, but I would definitely go and buy these.
Yeah. I'd give it an 8.5. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, it's my favorite Mexican beer.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let us know what you guys think.
Yeah,
Do
Pacifico.
you guys like Pacificos? If you guys had them. Um, definitely way above Corona for me. So, all you
Yeah.
Corona fans, taste this.
Yeah. I think I found the movie.
What is it? What is it? What is it?
Beer Fest.
I've heard of it.
Beer Fest is awesome. Shout out Beer Fest if you guys haven't seen it. Very beer classic. Knowing how to shoot the boot, drink from the big old boot. It's awesome. For any beer fanatics, check out Beer Fest.
Have you ever done a keg stand?
I have with
Yeah.
push-ups
With push-ups, huh?
on top of the keg. Yeah,
Upside down?
yeah, doing the push-ups, cranking them out. Yeah, but they
Ah, those
had
college days.
PBR. Was it
Pabst Blue
Beer?
Ribbon?
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
Talk about goat piss.
Yeah.
That one's
No, I
goat piss.
remember one of my buddies, one of my roommates in college. He would drink natural ice.
Ooh, natty ice. It's rough.
I think I'd prefer just about anything over
I probably have Steel Reserve over a
that.
natty ice.
King Cobra.
Yeah, hey, malt
I,
liquor is good, man.
yeah, I don't know about good, but it's there.
It does the job. I actually don't mind like a Miller High Life. That used to be my go-to party beer. The Miller High Life.
I am so glad I'm not in those days anymore.
Yeah, no way.
There's no need for that anymore. No need.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Welcome to BeeRE Talks. This is us. Let us know what you guys think. Give us any suggestions for beers. We're always open to just more suggestions. The more beers, the better. Yeah, let us know. Subscribe, like, smash that like button,
Yeah.
and let us know what you guys think. What should we try? Should we, should we do a keg stand here on the podcast?
That would be fun.
Do something.
We'll get a small keg.
Yeah, maybe.
They recently trained for this beer drinking competition. Okay, and then it's like in Germany. And so they have to do all this training to
All right, welcome back. This is BeeRE Talks. I'm Jonathan,
and this Nick.
and now we're going to talk about the state of the market.
Yeah.
What's going on, Nick? Talk to us.
Oh man. So, as you guys know, interest rates are climbing up, and
Still climbing.
yeah, it's probably not looking good. The Fed has to fight inflation.
Yeah.
So we're expecting a few more rate hikes this year. So, um, you know, I think this market, especially right now, like in LA, this market is not going to be determined by interest rates. the real key, I think, for this market that we're looking at, as far as residential is concerned, is the fact that uh, the inventory issue is going to persist. So until that is solved, homes are going to stay expensive.
Okay, so what does inventory mean?
Well, I mean,
how do we determine inventory?
So inventory is determined. It's measured by a month's for a month of inventory for sale.
Yeah.
So, for example, if there was no more homes to hit the market, how much of our demand would cause all the homes to sell out to completely zero?
Yeah. So how long it would take for the homes that are currently on the market to completely sell?
To completely sell out, correct.
And where are we in LA County?
So in a healthy market, we should be between like 5 to 6 months. That's a healthy, neutral market.
And it gets above that, it starts to become a buyer's market.
Correct. So if it's over that 5 to 6 months, it becomes more of a buyer's market. Under that threshold, it's going to be a seller's market. So
just clarity. Yeah. These are words that sometimes real estate agents use. All it means, buyer's market means it's beneficial to the buyer. Seller's market means it's beneficial to the seller, and they have the leverage per se in whatever's going on. So
typically in a seller's market, prices are going up. Typically in a buyer's market, prices are coming down. Right? You can kind of see it as like a bull market versus a bear market. Same principle. All we're seeing is a supply versus demand issue. And until that supply issue can be corrected, prices are going to stay high.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the inventory, because no matter what, people still need to buy homes. People still need to move, things like that. So I think so going back to the inventory, right? In a healthy market between 5 and 6 months, that's a neutral market. Right now, or right at the start of the year, we were at 1.5 months of inventory.
Yeah.
So that means all of the homes would sell out in about 6 weeks, which is crazy to think about, right? We've gotten a little bit better, but a lot of that has less to do. Is it good?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. A lot of that has less to do that the market's getting better, and more to do that it's seasonal. So typically in spring and summer, listings increase no matter what, right? So we're not seeing the market getting better. It's just a seasonal activity.
Okay, so and year to year, it's probably about the same,
or
not enough info to really tell.
It's honestly, it's probably worse. And so there's a few things to talk about there. Right now, we're currently sitting at about two months worth of inventory, right? So it's still a heavy seller's market. And that's great for sellers. That means you guys can still get top dollar, probably for the foreseeable future, you're still able to get top dollar. Buyers are definitely going to be paying a lot more. Now, it gets tricky because the inventory is actually going to get worse now. Because if you were a buyer, let's say you bought a home in 2019, 2018, let's say, and maybe you wanted to upgrade or move to another area, and back then you got an interest rate, let's say at 3.5%, you're not going to sell your house, buy another one for 5%, 6%, right?
That's true.
So people looking to upgrade right now are not in the market. So that's a whole group of people that typically would be in the market that are not in the market. And so what that means is, like, really you're only looking at people who are out of state movers that are selling, people who are, death or selling off parts of their portfolio for rentals. Like if people aren't paying rent, the amount of foreclosures like that are typically happening. So you're seeing those types of property hit the market.
Yeah.
So a lot of fixer-uppers. New construction is another thing where you're going to start to see a lot of people try to buy. But honestly, people are still wanting to buy homes. The demand is still very high. And even with interest rates at 5 to 6%, like people are still buying. The problem is that it's a supply and demand issue. As long as supply is like at 2-3 months, we're going to see prices continue to rise. Not at the rate that they were before, right? You're not going to see 15, 16, 17% rises in prices of homes.
Yeah.
But I think you may start to see like 5%, 4%, 3% increase in home values.
Yeah.
Until that issue is fixed.
Yeah.
which
and we got a lot
could
of
take some
issues.
time.
Yeah, and then you throw inflation in there, you throw
Yeah.
all these other things. You know what I mean? Like prices of a gallon of milk are through the
You
roof.
know, I I would like to believe that this administration and the feds would do the right thing and raise rates.
Yeah, I mean,
But
yeah,
honestly, if we raise rates now, it's gonna hurt a lot of people.
yeah, still,
And my guess, by the end of the year, if not the beginning of 2023, they're probably gonna drop rates again and print a ton of money because I don't think our economy can handle the rising interest rates that we need to do,
yeah.
right? I think we're gonna start to see what they call like a new normal. I think we're gonna see a new normal of interest rates being, um, they're gonna be low consistently, and things are just gonna be more expensive.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard.
that's just my educated guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to
Yeah,
figure it out because it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
yeah,
Because obviously, none of us want to see a recession. None of us want to see even those that are looking to buy. At the end of the day, you still don't want to see a recession because
yeah,
it may mean that prices of homes go down. That means that you might lose your job,
right.
or your homeboy down the street, your aunt,
Yeah,
your uncle, your family are gonna struggle through it because recessions aren't fun.
definitely
Um,
not. And I think this administration will do whatever it can to
to avoid it.
to save its own butt.
Yeah, I
And the
mean,
best way to do that, and I think this is what they're going to do, is more than likely they're going to want to pass this problem
to the
onto the
next one.
next administration.
Yeah, I
Unfortunately,
mean, this administration has already said that they're in it for one term and that's it, right?
well, I think then, and that's the problem. They're going to give away free money, free stuff, and they're going to be like, you know what? Let's leave the problem to the next guy.
Yeah,
And it sucks, but the we all, in order to really fix like the issue of what we're dealing with, like we really need to cut back on so much consumption, um, and we need to kind of pull back and force ourselves into a recession, unfortunately, for
yeah.
things to get better. And I think a lot of people don't want to go that route, but unfortunately, it's like the route that we have to take if we want to see an improvement.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. It's tough. I
Yeah,
mean I don't want to cut back. I don't want to I don't want to
yeah,
stop spending. But I have. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like honestly, one of the things that me and my wife recently talked about is we cut back on a lot of stuff. We cut Amazon Prime. We cut Netflix. Just
Congrats.
like many people, we cut Netflix. I cut a bunch of
Yeah,
other subscriptions that like the Stars or whatever.
yeah,
And I was just like, you know what? Like I can't be paying for crap that I'm not really using
for sure.
and be struggling
Yeah,
somewhere else. You know what I mean? Because everything else has gone up in price. Netflix went up too much in price. Maybe we can talk about that as far as what Netflix has done good and what Netflix has done bad.
yeah,
Since their prices did tank
yeah,
because of the changes that they've made. But yeah, I mean, these are things that I've done personally. Why? Because you have to come to terms with where you're at
yeah, for
and where
sure.
you want to be. You can't just say, I want everything and I want to have a big house, a big nice things, and this and that, but then your income says otherwise.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Your lifestyle right now has to match your income.
Yeah.
And I think people really need to realize that getting into a lot of debt is probably not the smartest thing to do right now.
And this is coming from real estate agents, guys.
Yeah.
We want you guys to get into debt. We want you guys to buy homes,
Right.
but we understand that
Look it,
the
and
future's better.
and I'll always say this. I'll say this. I think, and this is just a bold prediction. I think we're gonna get to a point where in that time where back, you know 50 60, I don't know how many, 50 60 years ago, when we got off the gold standard, right?
Yeah.
That was to save ourselves, um, from another type of recession, and it was able to allow us to, grow our economy. And I
Yeah.
think we're in a time where we might be in a transition into a new type of currency, right? And I think it's only happening because society wants it to happen, right? The society is really pushing for this digital money, digital
So you're saying
currency.
cryptos are here to stay?
I mean,
You heard it here, guys. Nick just said
look
it.
it.
Cryptos are here to stay.
Crypto's here to stay because we want it here to stay.
Yeah, and I mean it
We
makes sense.
we want decentralization, and we're
Yeah,
tired of a government that is trying to control the economy. And look at where we're at,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I
Look
mean,
at with the central bank. Look at where we're at.
yeah,
So I think decentralized is the way to go,
yeah,
and I think it's going. It's gonna happen.
yeah,
And I think whichever administration or whatever is going to happen, the Feds, there's going to be some push to move to a more of a digital currency, which I just posted a great article talking
check it out,
about,
guys. Check it out.
yeah, crypto, NFTs, and real estate, and how they're all going to kind of merge into this hybrid where obviously NFTs, you're buying a unique code or a unique thing that's unique to that one, like whatever it is,
Yeah,
that physical thing, right?
yeah. Honestly,
NFTs are all tied to a physical
yeah.
thing.
Honestly, I don't even consider crypto and NFTs and all these things as a matter of if it's going to happen. It's a matter of when it's going to happen.
For sure.
When it's, I
Yeah.
mean, it's already starting. There's businesses already take. There's a lot of businesses that already take Bitcoin or Ether
Yeah, I
or
mean, I have my
whatever.
Coinbase card. I mean, I
Yeah,
make purchases and get back crypto with
yeah.
rewards. So there's already an integration happening, and there's a huge innovation push right now in the real estate market on mortgages using crypto for
Yeah,
mortgages. That's a whole other thing. You guys should really look into that, and it's gonna be a
which I hope it proceeds because
yeah.
I mean,
So I was
I
reading up a little bit, and so the NFTs are probably gonna replace like a title, right? Right now, like
huh.
you get like a title, it's a piece of paper that
So
says you,
instead, you're gonna get an NFT saying that you own this property.
right? But
And I mean, I wonder if they're gonna start to do it, and let's say you own it physically, and now you also own it digitally. And
yes,
would that actually go into like, let's
yeah,
say, would they honor that on the metaverse or whatever?
yeah.
I wonder.
So I don't know, but there's a lot of people who are actually gonna be doing like where you can own a percentage of
Mm-hmm.
the NFT through like these smart contracts, and as someone's paying their mortgage, right, you can potentially earn a percentage from the interest that's getting paid from those. So like if you rent out a physical property
Mm-hmm.
and you own a percentage of that NFT, now you're owning a percentage of that rental income.
Huh. So it's almost like a stock market for real estate,
I mean, it's
in a
kind of
sense.
right, kind of, and I think we're headed in the direction where you can potentially sell parts of your house to other people, right?
Okay.
Um, I mean, who knows? I mean, this whole thing is like the Wild West right now. It's the time of innovation, but there's a lot of things like you can take out a HELOC.
Yeah.
Like there's companies now, HELOC, the home equity line of credit.
Mm-hmm.
You can take out a HELOC on crypto. So if you have equity in your house, you can use that equity to take out a loan from crypto, and they use the collateral from the equity of your house. So I mean, you can get a ton of money like doing this stuff, and it's crazy, man. So I'll put I'll send you the link for the
Yeah.
article. We could put it in the subscription, but you guys check it out. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in that area.
Yeah. I mean, crypto is the future. I mean, accept it. Just accept it, guys.
Yeah.
It's just like when we make the transition to credit cards. It's something that it's gonna stay. It's gonna. The faster you get on it, the faster you learn it,
Yeah.
and you just go
So
with it. The
talking
better you're gonna
about
be at.
that, yeah. So talking about that, what about this big old crypto crash that's happening right now? Like all
Yeah.
crypto is just down.
Well, for me, what I've actually been thinking about, I haven't really read it anywhere, but what I've been thinking about is like, so crypto is supposed to be some type of currency, right? So at some point, it's supposed to flatten out. It's not supposed to continue going up at an extreme rate
Right.
as Bitcoin and Ethereum have for the last 2 years or so.
So not all crypto is the same.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
there,
different utilities,
yeah.
different things,
So
right?
there's some that are like some cryptos like is a decentralized finance or DeFi
Yeah,
crypto. Some are tokens, so that way you can participate in like it's almost like buying stock in a company, but using you're either buying token because you want some kind of voice in the direction of that crypto. Like there's just so many different avenues that people are taking the crypto.
yeah,
Um, my biggest thing right now is because it's so chaotic. Uh, go with go with the stuff that's mainstream right now. Don't get too much into like some of these altcoins.
Okay.
I would be focusing on investing in stable coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, just especially Ethereum. Shout out Ethereum because Ethereum, the smart contracts and its network is being used in so many different
Yeah. I feel like
applications.
Ethereum's a lot more has a much better utility than Bitcoin
For
does.
sure,
Even
for
though
sure.
Bitcoin has all the fame,
Right.
but I feel like Ethereum is the one
The
that's
only,
really going to
yeah, I
stay
think the
and
only,
used a lot more
I
in
think the
things.
only value that Bitcoin brings is that it was first.
Yeah.
Right? It was a first. It's the original. Like nobody's making more Bitcoin, which is, gives it more value.
Yeah.
Like, and think about all the people you hear stories all the time. People who had USBs with like hundreds of Bitcoin that
Right.
are gone. Like you're never gonna get those Bitcoins back.
Yeah.
You know, so I think Bitcoin, because of that rarity of it, is still very valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know. I think it's gonna be super interesting.
Educate yourself, guys.
Yeah.
Just continue educating yourself on what crypto can do. I think I, it's hard because it's like even with NFTs, sometimes we don't know all that it can do.
Yeah.
All we know is the digital aspect of owning some type of digital asset, but we don't know all the utilities behind it. We don't know all the stuff that you can actually use with that NFT. I mean, don't consider it go out and buy a bunch of NFTs and buy stupid stuff. It's
Disclaimer: this is not financial advice.
It's like honestly, it's like with anything else,
Yeah.
right? There's stuff that has value, and then there's
Right.
stuff that doesn't have value, even though
Yeah.
it's under the guise or under the umbrella
Right.
of NFT. All NFTs are not made equal, just like all cryptos are not made equal.
Mhm.
You know, you got to educate yourself and not just buy anything.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Dogecoin, a lot of people bought Dogecoin just because
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk put out a tweet saying, "Buy this shit." It's like, no, don't just go out and buy it. I mean, it did go up, but then it went right back down.
Yeah.
Why? Because it didn't really have much of a utility. You know, Ethereum does have utility, but it's also going to go up and down. And just know, like Nick said last time, it's not get rich quick.
Yeah.
It's get rich slow.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Consider that. Always think about that.
Yeah.
In anything you do, always you're all, ask anybody that's made it. Ask anybody that's a millionaire. 99% of them will tell you it's a slow process.
For sure.
It's
I think
not overnight.
Yeah, I think true wealth, takes time to build. True wealth is just the consistent acquiring assets that grow, allowing them to appreciate over time. And just doing that consistently over a certain period of time, you're going to get the results that you want.
Yeah. And that's what we want. I mean, we want to build assets, and all that takes time. Just like with real estate, you know what I mean? Owning different properties, it's going to take some time. Even if you go the route of BeeRE, if you guys don't know what BeeRE is, check out Ryan Pineda. He talks about it all the time, which is
Or Thatch Nguyen is another good Instagram.
Okay.
Thatch Nguyen.
Uh-huh.
Shout out to him. He's also really good. He's a big BeeRE guy.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, it's buy, renovate, refinance, repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically buying low, using someone else's money to buy a house, so you can renovate it, and then the price of the house is going to go up. You sell it, and then you take your money right back.
No. It's rent it out.
You refinance it.
Rent it.
Rent it. When you refinance, you take all your money, all your investment out. Then you rent it out, and then that person's paying your mortgage.
Yep.
And then you repeat it. So there's the other way where you could actually sell it as well. Both work.
Yeah.
But they're still slow.
Yeah.
I mean, they're relatively fast, but they're not super fast. I mean,
I think equity is the big thing.
Yeah.
Building up that equity, because that's going to be your true net worth, right? If you have the equity, you deduct out what you owe, the net equity is your true net worth,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, you if you took $100,000.
Minus the risk, which Dave Ramsey will always tell you, there is risk in those deals,
Oh yeah,
which there is, because every one of those guys that has done BeeRE over and over and over will tell you they've missed it on a few transactions. So still slow, and it's not 100%. It's not like there's no scheme out there, guys. There's no scheme of getting rich quick. There just isn't.
yeah.
I wish there was, because I want to be rich.
Yeah, I think the important things, guys, is like just find something that you can be specialized in.
Yeah.
Like, and this is the key to what we're doing here is in this type of economy. Yes, have side hustles, but you should have like your specialized career. Be a specialist in something. Like, what's that one thing that everybody knows you for?
Yeah.
You know, and that's key to working in like in this economy. Like, you need to be a specialist. You need to be that resource for your community, for different people. Be be one of something.
I mean, I would push back a little bit.
Okay, tell me.
Recently, I TikTok. I heard a TikTok. It was, you know, that there's a famous saying, a jack of all trades is a master of none.
Right.
But they never finished that's not the
whole thing. So finish it. I know the rest of it.
The full saying is, but oh my goodness, I completely blanked out on it right now. But it's basically but being better at a lot of things is still being better at only. It's still better than being a master of only one.
Right.
Because you're going to have more utility, you're going to have more usefulness. Yes, specialize, but still have a broad spectrum of things that you can potentially go with.
So like, I'll tell you, as a business owner, I know my strengths and what I can specialize in, but I know a little bit enough of all the other aspects of the company, right? Yeah. So know enough to get by of everything, but you should have that one thing that you are specialized in, that's your strength, right? You want to play off your strengths. I think that's what I said.
Gary Vee right there.
Yeah, but be good in a little bit of everything, right? But still.
But you have to know yourself. I think the biggest thing is understanding who you are, what you're good at, what you're not good at, and really like what's it called? Capitalize on your strengths. Because if you're capitalized, like there's too many self-help books that make you want to learn how to be good at things that you're just not good at. You know what I mean? Yes, be proficient in those areas, but don't focus so much on that.
Yeah.
Don't focus on like your weaknesses. If you tend to be sloppy and just be proficient, learn how to work with it, but don't want to be like, what's her name? What's that cleaning lady that organizes everything that got famous a couple years ago on Netflix?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know her name.
Yeah, don't try to be her, because you're not gonna be her. She's specialized.
Exactly.
You know, she's gotten to a point where that's her strength.
Right.
And if that's one of your weaknesses, don't try to be her.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like same thing with me. Like if I know my strength is helping to educate people and helping to like people understand different things, especially in finances and different things like that, why would I want to start trying to do something else?
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's so true. Like, yeah, I get that saying that you're saying, you know, to be good in a bunch of things, but you know, I always use this saying, and people who know me, I bring it up all the time because it's so true. Like, when you think of Steve Jobs, who do you think of?
Apple.
Right. When you think of Elon Musk, I mean, what do most people think of?
Well, see, you just contradicted yourself.
Right. But
because Elon Musk is Tesla, it's SpaceX.
But he's an investor, right? Like, yeah, he is a CEO in those, but it's all technology.
And now owner of Twitter.
He halted it today. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
He put it on hold. I just saw it today.
He's playing games with y'all.
Well, what he found out was that there's a lot of, and this might be why I think Twitter is a little overrated. There's a lot of bots that created accounts on Twitter that are fake accounts. So a big portion of Twitter's accounts are fake. It's a whole nother So he's putting everything on pause
So
because,
basically, the valuation isn't there because
yeah,
most of
just
these
based
people
off
are
all these
not
fake
real.
accounts. So messed up. But I mean, let's
Or
just go
he's just
back.
playing
When
games.
you think
Because,
of,
I mean, he probably would have known that. He probably knew that already.
yeah, maybe, who knows what he's thinking. But when you think of like Bill Gates, you think of what?
I don't know anymore. Microsoft philanthropist. I'm trying to prove you wrong.
Yeah, yeah. No,
But
but that's the thing is like typically when you think
so
of
let's
these
say
guys
Warren
like
Buffett. Warren Buffett is
investing,
investing. That's it.
investing,
Okay.
he has a specialty in
Okay.
that. Obviously, he owns like Berkshire Hathaway and all these other things, right? But typically, they're good in one thing.
I think we're saying the same thing though.
Henry Ford.
Yeah, but I think we're saying the same thing.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
Is focus on the things that are actually your strengths and the things you're good at.
Oh, of course.
Don't focus on the other stuff.
Right.
Don't try to be doing. Yes, you can have diversity in what you do. Mm-hmm. I think that's what I'm trying to say is you can do different little things, but they're all in the same vein.
Right.
And they all complement each other. Yeah. And that's why.
Well, I think you need to start a specialist.
Okay.
And once you've mastered something, right, then you can spread out into other things, right? But until you can master something, or you have no business being in all these other things because you haven't mastered the original, right, game plan.
Yeah, unless you have ADD.
I mean,
yeah,
because then it's not a strength.
I mean, that is one of the issues in our society is that a lot of people
Yeah.
are undiagnosed with ADD, and then they move on from one thing to the next. And I think that's what you're saying is that don't move on to the next thing until you've actually gotten really good at what you're doing. For sure,
yeah. And I think it's super important. It's super important to really get good at that one thing.
Because you got a lot of Instagram people that say they're masters in
everything.
Entrepreneurs, you're right. This, you're that, you know, speakers, this and that, but they haven't done any of them.
Right. I mean, the people that are really remembered are the ones that are great at one thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, look at Michael Jordan. Right? He was great in basketball, and that's what gave him his fame. Not so much in
baseball.
Right. But
he was pretty good.
But you see, he mastered one thing first. Yeah. But now, obviously, now everybody knows him for many different things. They know him for baseball, that he was a golf player. He has his shoe line. He invests in multiple companies now. Like look at Dr. Dre.
Magic Johnson.
Yeah, Dr. Dre, same thing. Yeah. Dr. Dre, he was a producer, rapper, did all that stuff coming up. Remember him from NWA. And now, what is he? Beats. Now he's part of the board of Apple. Like, he expanded his horizon, but he couldn't have even gotten to that level had he not mastered that avenue. So that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So
I agree. I just wanted to push back a little bit. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. And so, look, guys, I mean, at the end of the day, like, you guys just choose something to be really, really good at. And I think you're going to find that is going to be very rewarding. You know, and it doesn't matter what that is and what that looks like. I mean, there's some people who are just really good at like marketing. There's some people who are just really good at like leadership and coaching, right? There's other people who are very good writers, like whatever your strength is, and then you just build off of that and you monetize it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I think the one thing which is what I'm learning right now too, and like not necessarily learning, but like going through is that you will monetize eventually. Maybe you won't monetize right away. Maybe you don't get a lot of money. Like, you know, obviously what we're talking about earlier, right?
Yeah.
You get rich slow. So everything that you're investing time into right now will hopefully in the future give you tenfold or you'll reap the benefits of what you're doing now.
For sure.
And I mean, I think that's one of the things about business is that the landscape has changed. And if you're in it just for the money, you're going to have a rude awakening and you're going to realize like people are not down with that anymore.
Yeah.
It's not about just going out and making money and screwing people over.
For sure. Yeah. You know what? I'm very much like, that's a big thing about how I do business right now. Yeah. And unfortunately, like in real estate, like I know we have the title of salespeople, but I hate salespeople. Like I hate no, seriously.
Yeah, like, nobody likes to be sold to.
You know, I hang up on these guys. Like, I'm not trying to be pitched. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, there's been that talk like, oh, this guy can sell you anything. I don't want a guy that can sell me anything. I want a
Yeah.
guy that actually knows what the hell he's doing and he's gonna give me something that I didn't know about
Yeah,
before.
100%. And I think and this is what I think sales is a great skill, but I think the sales that I'm talking about is influence.
Yeah.
Influence is a great skill, not sales. Influence is a great skill because eventually we want people to do what we ask them sometimes, right?
Yeah.
But it's in the benefit of them.
Yeah.
I think what we do a lot is we're just showing people how to overcome their own obstacles and get out of their own way to do something that's beneficial for them.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's what we believe in. We believe that
Like,
real estate, for the most part,
yeah,
is going to be beneficial to a family.
the best salespeople in the world don't sell to people who don't want to be sold.
Yeah.
And that's 100%. Like, if you're not qualifying the people that you're working with and seeing where they're at in their certain position, like some people are no business to buying a house right now.
Yeah.
Like, and they probably should. And I'll even tell people, you know what? You probably need to wait a year.
Yeah.
You need to wait 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, like you're not in a financial position. Why am I gonna shove this down their throat? I guess I can qualify them. Yes, I can get them into a house, but why would we if financially they're not even gonna afford the payments?
Yeah.
It's a disservice to them. And so I think what we need to, especially for real estate agents, move away from the salesperson mentality and realize that we're be more of a professional. Like we're real estate professionals. And that encompasses a whole nother dynamic when we meet with clients.
Yeah.
It's I'm not here to sell you. I'm here to guide you, educate you, get you from point A to point B, and help you overcome the obstacles along the way.
Definitely.
Like I'm helping them get to their goals, not, I'm helping them get their goals without like sacrificing my own goals.
Yeah. I think I had a conversation with a friend this week, and we were talking about how, it was something completely different, but
Yeah.
I was saying you can provide a service and still get compensated. It doesn't have to be either or.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We can still provide a really good service, a really good job, and still expect good compensation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Those are not exclusive from each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just because, and this is one thing that I've actually talked to my wife about like even families and friends and
Yeah.
like sometimes you go to your friend, why? Because you want to get a deal on a thing that they do. And it's like, why do we do that with friends instead of actually paying full price or even above full price?
Yeah, to support
because they
them.
are my friend.
Yeah, to support them.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Like like why do we think that because they care about us, they should provide the service to us and not get compensated?
Right.
Like that's kind of like we're being selfish in that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that landscape is changing where, okay, yeah, I can provide a service,
mm-hmm.
and I can still care about you,
right.
and still expect a compensation.
100%. And I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? And I think it's good. That's what makes, like a business thrive.
I've heard a great saying is like, if you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want. Eventually. Yeah. But you got to help them get what they want. Yeah. You're not helping them get what you want. Yeah. You got to help and really genuinely help people get what they want. Yeah. And I think if you really understand that, you'll move away from a salesperson mentality and you're going to move towards more of a real estate professional mentality. Yeah. And it sucks, man. Like we get such a bad reputation, for real estate agents, and everybody thinks we're trying to sell them, and at the end of the day, we're here to really just help you. Like the real estate, the whole like culture and the world of real estate is so complex. Yeah. There's so many different little things, and I mean, it's like being an attorney, right? Like if you walk into a courtroom, I would never be able to represent myself in a courtroom. Like I don't even know where to start.
You can try it.
Yeah, you could try. Of course, it's free. Go ahead.
Just like there's all those sold by buyer or
for sale by owners. Yeah, and it's like you could sell your own house. You can buy a house on your own, right? Yeah. But are you really gonna do it to the maximum? Like, are you really gonna be able to get the most benefit doing it on your own? Yeah. No, because you might be a professional in a whole other industry. What business do you have trying to be a professional in real estate? Yeah. Like hire someone who's a specialist that can help guide you through, and it doesn't need to genuinely need to be me or you. Like just get with a professional that you
Yeah.
know.
That's gonna teach you. That's gonna show you.
Right.
That's gonna answer all your
Yeah, and
questions.
like please stay away from part-time agents. Sorry to the part-time agents that
Yeah.
yes, do this on the side and extra income, but if you're not really in it and educating yourself and like in the atmosphere of real estate, like you're behind already.
Yeah.
There's so much changing, so much like if you're not in on the pulse of what's happening with the market in the communities,
Yeah.
like that person that you're helping, you're gonna be doing a disservice.
Yeah.
Like
Even if that's your uncle or cousin or
I
whatever.
mean, it's unfortunate, man, and I really think that there needs to be a little bit more respect
Yeah.
about the industry, but at the same time, agents should be treating this industry with respect.
Yeah.
Right? Don't come in thinking you're gonna earn a quick buck. I'm gonna just make a few deals and get out, or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Like, come in, treat it with respect, be respectable, and help raise that standard as a whole, like the whole industry, like
Yeah.
raise the standard of just the quality of agents that you deal with. And I think in doing that, like, I think just in general, the industry itself will improve.
Cool.
Yeah. That was good. I think we
All
had a
right.
great conversation today.
Yeah. Let us know if you guys have any questions. Let us know what you guys think. Anything you guys have thought about in real estate, let us know so
Yeah, we love
can answer
to
your questions.
answer any of your guys' questions. We're here for you guys. I mean, this is something that I love doing, man. This is great.
Cool. This is BeeRE Talks.
Episode 3.
Episode 3.